Hello everyone, this is Yana Smakula and thank you so much for joining me today. In this video, I'm sharing loads of different cards and ideas using Hero Arts, March, my monthly hero kit, and some of the add-ons. You guys seem to be enjoying these videos a lot, so I worked hard once again to put this video together for you. Heroes kits are very different every month, and for the month of March, they decided to include a bunch of sentiments. These, I think, are essential for any card maker, as no matter what card we make, we must have a sentiment. So I was very excited about this kit. I think it's a must-have kit, especially if you are a beginner card maker and don't have a lot of sentiment stamps in your stash. I have two sets of cards to share with you. My first set of cards uses just the kit itself and shows how various kit sentiments can be mixed and matched. And my second batch of cards shows how the sentiments from the kit can be used with other products. I used add-on, stamp, and stencil, but you can use these with products that you might already have. So let's get started. I will be moving for work soon, so I'm trying to reorganize and, well, basically pack up my craft room. One of the things that I have a lot of is leftover colored cardstock pieces. I don't want to throw them away, but I also don't want to take them with me as I'm somewhat limited to how much stuff I can take. So I wanted to find a way to utilize all of these cardstock scraps and put them to a good use. Here's my leftover pile, and I just went through it and pulled cardstock pieces that I could use for these cards. I had lots of colors here, and this cardstock for the most part is colored cardstock from Simon Says Stamp. Next, I picked some stamps from my March kit and I trimmed my paper to size to accommodate that particular word. That took a little bit of time to do, but it helped me to be more efficient when I got to the stamping part. I personally prefer to cut my paper first and do the stamping later versus do the stamping and then trim the paper into skinny strips. I used black ink and stamped all of the messages today in black. You can try using other color of ink, or you can also heat emboss your messages, maybe in white or gold embossing powder. I wanted to make quick cards, so I didn't do any heat embossing for this batch of cards, just did basic stamping. So here are all of my pieces cut and stamped. I did not stamp every word from my set, but I stamped most of them onto various colored cardstock pieces. The beauty of this set is that you have options. You can combine these words in many different ways. Here I was doing some test stamping and I have hi friend, you are amazing, or special, or awesome, or the best, or unique. So tons of options to make somewhat personalized cards. So let's go ahead and start stamping these cards. I'm starting with this hi friend message and I like that it is curved at the bottom here so I can place a little banner with a stamped U under the hi friend, and it follows the curve of that hi friend message. So these go together nicely and they fit together nicely. I'm using foam squares to pop the banner up on my card. I don't want this card to be just flat. I want to have some dimension on my project. Next, I'm going to stamp the R image in black ink under the banner. So I'm alternating a word stamped in black on white with a word stamped in black on colored cardstock. I do not want to use colored cardstock for every word to make my sentiment, as that might end up being too colorful. So this is why I'm doing this black on white and black on color here. Next, I'm adding the best. And again, I'm foam mounting this image in place. And I'm going to finish this particular message with an image of an arrow at the bottom. I am using my Mini Misty today, and once I've picked and arranged the stamps to stamp this message, I can stamp it multiple times and customize with other colors of colored cardstock and other words. So for example here, I have it saying, you are the best, but I can substitute the best for anything else. Awesome, unique, amazing, you name it. And it's very easy to do. Here, I just stamped this onto white panel, and I'm going to pick out the colored cardstock pieces that I like to customize the message on this card. I intentionally stamped the banner images blank, as there are several words included in this March kit that you can fit into the banner. Some of these words also have coordinating dies, so that makes it very easy to cut them out in your die cutting machine. I literally made a bunch of cards using all of these individual words, and I still have a lot of the pre-stamped words left, enough to make 20 cards or maybe even more than that. Here I used the hello there and foam mounted U, next stamped R, and finished with amazing. Such an easy card to make. I trimmed all of my panels to 4 by 5¼ inches and foam mounted them onto A2 card bases. I went with white and also colored cardstock for these to add some more color to my cards. You can definitely stamp these cards up by stamping fun backgrounds, maybe doing some ink blending, or introducing a critter to the design. I wanted to keep mine very simple. Once I had all of them foam mounted, I used my Nuvo drops in various colors and I added liquid drop details onto each of those cards. I tried to match the colors of my Nuvo drops to either the color of my card base or to the dominant color on my card. I used Nuvo drops in Duck Egg Blue, Bubblegum Blush, Oyster Gray, Caribbean Ocean, Green Apple, and English Mustard. So here is a closer look at these cards made using just the kit itself. Now, these messages can also be customized with various images that you might already have in your stash. Here I stamped hello there from my kit, and I added arrows above and below the message and customized it with a line of trees stamped in green from the road trip stamp set from Hero Arts, and I stamped a road and later a camper and colored both with my Copic markers. So I have the hello there taking center stage in my card, but also added additional images from an older stamp set to spice this card up. Here's another card idea that I did. I stamped everything in black ink, but I used neon ombre inks for the U banner and added lots of vibrant color to this card. Nothing is adhered here, so that's why I have a piece of washi tape holding things in place. And these are my sketched out card ideas, so to speak. I often stamp my card ideas onto thin printer paper just to see how that would look. And if I like the design, I then transfer it onto my regular white paper. For my next cards, I incorporated sentiments from the kit, and I also used add-ons to create these. So here I am stamping food images from the Food Puns stamp set, and I'm using my Copic marker friendly ink as I want to color these with Copic markers. I was particularly drawn to the image of the donut. It's so delicious. So I used E37, E15, and E13 colors to color the donut, and also RV14, RV13, and RV11 to color the frosting. I tried to stick to the same colors for the other food images, and I think I only used some yellows, Y17, Y15, and Y11, and also a C1 cool gray marker to color the rest of my images. There's tons of ways that these can be colored, but I was in the mood for pink and brown combo. I also used a white gel pen and added white details to my images, especially to the donut. I cut my images out using scissors and I made them into groupings on my work surface. So this is how I was planning what sentiments I would use with each card. So I did hello there, just a little note to say I love you a latte. Next I have hi friend, I do not know what I'd do without you. And the last one, you're my perfect scoop. To create backgrounds for these cards, I used a stencil. This is Every Which Way stencil, and it's an add-on this month. And I dry embossed several backgrounds using this stencil in my Spellbinders Platinum die-cutting machine. I've shared how to dry emboss with stencils many times in the past, so I'll link to one of those videos in case you don't know how to do that. Next, I used Glimmer Paste from Tonic Studios for one of my backgrounds. I reapplied the stencil over the dry embossed background and added a generous amount of that glimmer paste in color Plum. For another background, I used a new spray from Hero Arts. This is White Iridescent Shimmer Spray. It's also an add-on this month, and I generously sprayed the entire background. The spray is called white, but it's not opaque white, so it's not going to make whatever paper you're using into a white colored paper, but it will add shimmer, and it will lighten up the paper quite a bit, but it will not make it white. It's a very beautiful spray. I love the shimmer that I got, and I think I'll be using this often in the future. To finish my cards, I black heat embossed sentiments onto vellum strips. At first, I used my VersaFine Onyx Black ink and I heat embossed it in clear embossing powder onto vellum piece, but that didn't look black enough for me. It was sort of a muted black. So I found this black embossing powder from Wow in my stash. I don't think I've ever used it. And so I heat embossed my sentiments in black powder to get a nicer, blacker black. I trimmed one of the banners into a V shape at one end. And the way I like to do this, if it's too big for me to eyeball it, I just lay it on my cutting mat where I have a grid. Next, I use my tool-in-one to pierce the hole in the middle. And next, I make cuts with my scissors to make that V shape. Super easy. I foam mounted my images onto the banner using foam adhesive squares from Scrapbook Adhesives. I did the same thing for my second card. I folded the vellum piece to go around the background panel, and I taped it in place with double-sided tape from the back. I also used foam squares to foam mount it on the front, and I placed the squares under my images so that they will not be visible on the card. Finally, I used my lacquer pen from Hero Arts and added lacquer details to the frosting on my donut and also the little heart on the coffee cup. So that's all of the card ideas that I have using Hero Arts March My Monthly Hero Kit. There are many more fun products and add-ons available with the March kit. I couldn't show them all in the video as it would have been an hour long. Be sure to visit my blog for a full list of supplies that I use to make these cards, and also join the blog hub for loads of additional inspiration. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, as always, please leave them in the comment section below, and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't yet done so. If you are a subscriber but are not receiving new video notifications, be sure to check the bell icon on the homepage of my channel to get notified every time I post a new video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!